Welcome to Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
This is the 16th edition. Kenya itainuka, Kenya itasimama, Kenya itanawiri kwa moja na uzalendo. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo?
Sema.
Leo hii tunakuja kuongea story na gender. Kwa sababu unajua nini? Hii story ya huyu Mrusi. Mrusi tukisema ni Kiswahili, huyu Mrashi, hapa tuseme Mrashi ndio muelewe nyinyi majenzi. Alikuna venye ameleta noma sana, si ndio? But what are the issues about gender in this country? And today we have the best advocate on gender matters, a young lady who is also the youngest CEO of a constitutional commission. Akona PhD ya mathematics, atatuambia zaidi. Anaitwa Dr. Purity Ngina. Makofi kwake. But before we go back to her, so that we can have a lot of time with her, it's good to know what is happening kwa Gava. Sindio? Kile kinaendelea kwa Gava. Do you know, by the way, we just had a very successful meeting with His Excellency the President from State House with leaders, from ministers, CSS, PSS, chairman of parastatals, directors, and it was very wonderful. But I can tell you for sure, our president is not just a president, he is a visionary. And he has a very clear plan for this nation. That is the right kind of leader. A real leader that we must not afford to lose. Tupigie makofi rais wetu kwa sababu kuna vile tu akona forthright vision na kweli for sure atatufikisha Singapore. And by the way, wacha niseme hivi, ukiangalia vizuri, ukicheki vizuri sana hapa, kuna vile barabara saa hizi zinaanza kujengwa. Can you imagine? The government has cleared 177 billion shillings of pending contractor bills unpaid since the year 2020. And as a result, the construction of 6,000 kilometers that had been stalled, sasa zimeanza kurudiwa. Now you can see contractors on the road. Now you can see what we promised as a government, that we are going to make sure that we get back, and Kenya is now a reconstruction site. And so therefore, wale walikuwa nasema barabara zao haziwezi kuangaliwa zaidi, 6,000 kilometers of road now are being constructed, and 177 billion shillings has been already paid to contractors out of the 255 billion ambayo ilikuwa pending bills. Tupigie serikali hapa makofi kwa sababu ni sana sana. So that's a very great development because watu wanajua wanapenda barabara. Ukisikia rais alikuwa kule upande wa Northern Kenya, 45% itoke gari iende Kobo. Already roads are being made, and we are going in the better plan. We want to make sure that as we move to Singapore, the national transformation agenda, we have 28,000 kilometers of road being constructed, 2,500 kilometers being dual, kama ikuwe kama Thika Road hivyo, and we are also going to make sure that we build dams, 50 mega dams and 1,000 small dams, so that we have even enough energy, 10,000 megawatts. The roads to Singapore is very clear. We are there and we are not moving backward. Further to it, it is also true that as we speak now, because of our EPZs, there is 81.5 billion investment in jobs, exports, and global growth, because we have now this money across 116 zones and 207 enterprises, driven mainly by textile and apparel firms serving international markets. The sector has created 95,364 direct jobs and supported over 300,000 indirect jobs. Export earnings grew by 135.7 billion last year, up from 129 billion in 2024, fueled by apparel and agro-processing exports under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, which is dominating at 90% for national apparel exports. And our minister, Likin Njui, is actually traveling tomorrow to the US to sign a deal that is going to even make it better for us. And also China is now giving us tariff-free access to their market. Makofi pia hapo. And so therefore, watu wangu tuko na serikali ambayo inatujali, na ndio leo tuko na kipindi cha Sema na Spox. Sema na Spox. Ndio tuweze kubonga na nini? Na Gava. Tusikie vile Gava inatuenzi. Na mimi youth mjue tutasonga polepole. Kwa hivyo wacha ni move upande huo mwingine ili tuweze kusikia nani mgeni wetu, ako na nini, na ni youth kama sisi. Mimi sio youth, mimi ni mzae kidogo. Tuacha tusikie maneno. Makofi kabisa hapo. So, how are you daktari? Hata hujanisalimia bana. How are you? Unajua kugota? Hivyo. You're a shy girl, How are you?
I'm good.
A young CEO under the age of 35. Here you are looking all distinguished and uko na ile inaitwa African attire.
Yeah.
I think we were in the spirit. Mnaona? Kuna vile. Sasa tell us about yourself. Who is Purity? In a nutshell. Where did you grow up? Tell us about your story.
Thank you, First Honorable Mwaura, for inviting me to this event and this evening to speak to our people. My name is Dr. Purity Ngina, and I'm raised in Nyeri County. I was born in Kieni constituency, Kieni East Sub-County, Kafaru Ward. And I grew up in the village. I went to school in a school called Birere Primary School. The most interesting part of Birere is that this is a place where after the end of Mashamba system in the 90s, these were the people who had settled along the forest. And then the president then, President Moi, decided to settle them in one place called Birere. And so you can imagine most of our parents actually had not gone to school. That is why they were actually living and farming in forest by that time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so...
no wonder they say they farm in the forest.
Yes,
there.
yes.
Okay, so this was a settlement.
This was a settlement. So
Okay.
after then they abolished the farming in the forest. The people got out of the forest, but they settled along the forest.
And I remember we went with the president. I think sometimes, that last year, there was a time we were in that Mberere place there.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the IG Kanja also.
Yeah.
Very much in the village there.
It is in the village. So I grew up there, went to school there, cleared my class 8 in the 2002.
At your what?
Cleared my primary school
Are you serious? Sasa hiyo ndio nilikuwa naingia kampo. Endelea.
in the year 2002.
Yes.
And what people know is that I didn't do very well.
Okay.
I got 235 marks.
Are you serious? Out of 500?
Out of 500, that is below average.
Oh.
But let me
And
tell
here
you,
you were.
16 years later, I made history by becoming the youngest person to get a PhD in this country.
Makofi. But before you, let's not rush to 16, Hebu tuambie, so ulianguka, si ndio?
So I
Uli
did-
repeat ama ulifanya nini?
Yes, so in 2002, when I didn't do very well, my mother, who actually didn't have an education, said you must repeat. She believed in second chances. And so I repeated, but what you know is that in 2002, we were getting a new government that had promised free primary education and everything about it. And so there was hope in the village that time. And so everybody was told, you just go to school, we are not going to pay. So even if you repeated, anyway, there is no expense. And so I repeated, but Mungu ni nani? Tunasemanga Mungu akuli ugali.
Yeah.
In the
Na halali kwa mtu.
2003, I sat for another exam and I got 369 marks.
Makofi. Sasa hapo ukaanza kuwa chopi.
Sasa hapo kumbe nikajua masomo ni mzuri.
Actually, if you compare 369, kwa wale system yetu ya 700, hiyo ni over 500 hapo.
Yes. But I got past. I mean, you can imagine within 1 year, from 235 to 3 in the same primary school.
That's very
and that is
commendable.
what it means to give people hope. Because
Let
you
me
see,
ask you,
yeah,
Purity,
yeah.
what do you think made you not perform very well the first time?
Because there was no future. You get you
No
finish,
inspiration, no
yeah,
nothing.
that's it.
You got
But
married in the village and
yeah. Your life is done. But now you have a government that has said, we're going to give you education. You actually will not pay.
Yeah.
And actually our parents didn't know whether it's only primary or even secondary. So there was free...
So this is President Kibaki.
Yes, yes,
free, you know?
Yeah, that's free primary education. And then
So that enabled you to repeat.
it enabled me to
Hebu
repeat.
pigeni makofi hapo. You can see now
Yeah.
where Bill Clinton actually said that time he wanted to meet President Kibaki as the most inspiring leader at that point in time.
Yeah.
So this is the Kibaki free education that gave you a second chance.
Yes.
And you believed in yourself.
Yeah. But then there was also CDF that, you know, it came with many things that our
Yes.
parents were promised.
Yeah.
So they were just telling our kids, just go to school. And with that, of course, as
The
a
idea
child,
of Muriuki Karoe,
Yeah.
the former senator.
as a
Yeah.
child, when your parents tell you something, you believe in it. And when a leader speaks, people also believe. So our people in the village believed that they would not be paying. Anyway, I got 369, went to Tumutumu Girls. And in 2007, I sat for my KCSE, got a B+, and I was admitted at Egerton University to be a high school teacher of mathematics and chemistry, which I studied for 4 years. 2013, I graduated, and I became the first in the Faculty of Education. So I was given a scholarship for my master's at Egerton University, and I chose to take applied mathematics. Applied mathematics for my master's. That was my research then. Was
You know, so when you went to Mutumu, as you said, so in your class in Form 4, ulikuwa namba ngapi hapo?
Could be, I think, I mean, I don't know, but 5.
Of course, wale walipita.
Yeah, when you walipita.
And so undergraduate yako ilikuwa ni gani ati nisikia nini?
Bachelor's of Education Science. Mathematics and Chemistry.
And chemistry. Then you go for master's double maths.
Applied mathematics. Because when I was doing my bachelor's, I took double maths. So then I had an opportunity to choose what I wanted, and I felt, I mean, I love STEM, and I think women, girls can become you know, experts in that field that time, and even now the statistics were showing, and even now they show that STEM is more male-oriented, but I also wanted to change that narrative. So I took applied mathematics, and I scored very well. Actually, during my graduation for my master's, I was given an honor by the chancellor then, because of finishing my program within 2 years. It was unheard of, because you're in a public uni. There are these stories that when you get to the public university, you'll take many years before finishing your master's. And so I finished within 2 years, and in 2015 I graduated.
Wow.
And I was able to now get another scholarship at Strathmore University. Surprisingly, I came to Nairobi first time, 2016, after. Hii kizungu ni ya vile.
All this apity, yeah? So fast forward, yani ulikuja Nairobi 2016.
Sasa si nimekuja venye nimepata scholarship ya my PhD at Strathmore University, and I finished, was given by the German exchange program.
Is it Dad?
Dad, yeah. So
Dad have done a good job in sponsoring many people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And luckily.
So how long did you take to do your PhD?
2.5 years.
Wow, makofi hapo jamani. Watu wengine hata wanamaliza miaka 10. Where you are at Chopia?
I went to Germany partly, which I think that exchange helps you because you get different perspective. But also my research for my PhD was on HIV modeling, because it is in biomathematics, application of mathematics in biological processes. So I was looking at the drugs.
Unasikia nini watu? Application of what? Biological processes, eh? Sasa biology ikoje na mathematics bwana? Hebu tuambie wewe Purity.
So as I mean, it depends with the
na ukunywe maji hapo.
Research
ukunywe hapo. Daktari, ukunywa tu kidogo hapo, unakunywa kwa pamoja la maji. Endelea. It
depends with the topic that you're taking. So
I think wacha nikupatie hii maji yangu. Wewe unaonekana unataka kunywa maji hapo, na mimi nichukue glasi yako. Haya, endelea.
So my research, which was inspired by the many challenges, if you remember the history we have had with HIV, I felt this need for us to really look into the drugs.
Tell me Purity, was there, because this is an easy show, so I want you to relax. Tusikuwe kama kwa seminar. I want you to relax kidogo hapa. That's how we do the show. So was there a personal story that made you to go to HIV? Was there a family member who was affected, a close friend, a relative, you know? No,
I growing up, you know, when we grew up, when we were young, that time even the ARVs were not as they are right now. So we saw people really lose their life. There were many orphans that time. And then, of course, then the drugs came, and people were able to access the drugs. So I wanted to understand all these types that you take, which one is best? How can we optimize the one that is best? So of course in mathematics you model, you're playing with coding. It's a very interesting thing. Unfortunately, I'm not coding right now, but that's what I did. Actually, during COVID is when some of us who are modelers who managed to have our time, our limelight, because that is the time you would
So COVID pia ilikuja ikakupatia hiyo. Na ndio kama umemaliza tu 2018, and then now COVID came.
COVID came. That is the time you'd hear the CS then, Mutai Kagwe says, the modelers are saying, this is what is going to happen. I was not there because I'd already left Strathmore University to do something else, but I was connecting with what they were doing.
Very good. Makofi, makofi. Now, maybe in the next 1 minute or so, move us quickly to your work life, and then tukuje kwa National and Gender and Equality Commission.
So after
and you can even say maybe one, if you're comfortable, you can tell us about your family, but in less than 1 or 2 minutes.
But you've said it's an easy show.
Yeah. So ndio tukuje kwa the subject matter. Tujue kama unatushikia huyo murasia. Tuendelee.
So in 2018 I graduated, became the youngest person to get a PhD in the Republic of Kenya.
Wewe wacha kusikia wivu, piga makofi. Hata kama una struggle na hiyo ka degree, hii ni a role model, si ndio?
Yeah.
This is a role model.
It was very nice because you can imagine the journey. First you failed. Secondly, you were raised by a parent who didn't have an education. Thirdly, she was a single parent. And yet,
kwa hivyo watoto wa masingle mother wako sawa?
I mean, there's no problem.
Iko poa. Na by the way, you know, Gava imesema 600,000 single mothers waingizwe kwa mpango ya AGPO. Wanakuwa trained saa hii. Si unaona wasaidie?
I think it's a bad narrative for people to think that there's nothing that can come out of a single parenting family.
Even Barack Obama was a son of a single mom.
Exactly. Yeah. So
our fellow Kenyan.
So then I taught a little at Strathmore University. 2020, I left Strathmore University to join the non-state organization.
And by the way, Strathmore has got very good students and the discipline there. I need comment. I have given a public lecture there. They are really good. So I'm sure that if that was your first employer, wow.
Changes you. Changes how you think, how you dress, how you talk, how you see things, how you appreciate life, makes you more appreciate integrity, accountability, all those competencies that are important in the 21st century.
So tell me now so that we can move to...
So I finished, I left Strathmore and started working for an organization called Zizi Africa. I was doing research in the education space. Actually, when you hear me speak, you realize that I know CBE.
You're actually an education expert.
Yes, I'm an education expert. I did that for 4 years.
And the president has spoken about CBE. It's not a question of 100% at the exam, it's 40% and then 60 at the exam.
And actually it's nurturing every child's potential so that you become ethical, engaged and empowered citizen. It is not about the exam. It has introduced the core competencies such as collaboration, communication, critical thinking. You know, it makes you think outside the box. And I think that is what we need in this century. So I did research asking ourselves then, you have introduced these competencies, for example, critical thinking or problem solving. How will I, as an employer, look at Honorable Mwaura and say he's a critical thinker? How can I assess critical thinking itself?
Very good.
Or how can I assess values like respect?
So you came to this NGO, and then after that, how did you end up as a CEO of NGC?
So after that,
I'm trying to rush you because of time.
So it was, I mean, the application, it was advertised on my Gava, and I applied with many other Kenyans.
So there's that process of you applying. You are a young lady. This is a job. You know how it can be intimidating to go for it.
It can be intimidating, but one of the things I have never said I will be a CEO. I never thought I'll be a CEO, but actually I never thought I can't be. You see, when someone asks you, did you ever think you'll become the government spokesperson? Maybe not, but you never thought.
No, I never thought. I just know of my predecessor, Alfred Mutua, and now I'm the fifth.
Yeah, but you never thought that you can't.
No, well, for sure.
Exactly.
That's a good one, yes.
Yeah, you never stayed somewhere and said, I can't become.
Yeah, in fact, when I look back, I realized I was being trained to become that without me knowing.
Yeah, so for me, I never one day thought I would be the CEO of the National Gender and Equality Commission, or actually a CEO, but actually never sat down and said, Purity, you can't become. I know I can become many things, and I'm always very focused on that. So I applied. I was shortlisted. I went for the interview, and then I was called, hey, my name is Monica, I'm the human resource at this is a verbal confirmation. Would you want the job? And I said, yes.
And you knew no one?
Nobody.
Sasa watu wanasemanga ati lazima ujue mtu kwa hii Kenya. This is a very good exam. Si ndio? Chema cha jiuza? Haya, hiyo hapo. Let's really clap. You know, mimi nashukuru hiyo man. Kwa sababu you are encouraging so many young people.
And actually
mpige makofi kusema let's be the
So now, when I got, let me just say this, when I was told to come to sign my acceptance, I said I'll need a month. Everybody told me, you don't give a month to government, something can happen. You needed to just say, I'll report on Monday. I said, no. If this job is mine, it will wait for me for 1 month. And I joined on 22nd of July 2024. I was a 34-year-old young woman.
Wow.
And did amazing things. And in December of 2024, the president gave me the Moran of the Order of the Burning Spear.
MBS.
Yes, and actually he declared when they were reading my profile that I'm the youngest CEO of a constitutional commission, which I think is big for...
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, hiyo ni jambo ambalo limefresha sana, and that's why we took a lot of time, because we need to inspire these people. Now, in the next 3 or so minutes, tell us what is the mandate of NGEC so that we can take a break and then we come to the substantive discussion.
Thank you. National Gender and Equality Commission is a constitution commission anchored at Article 59, 4 and 5. And then operationalized through an act of parliament. Our work is to promote equality and freedom from all forms of discrimination, giving special focus to children, youth, persons with disability, women, minority and marginalized communities, and older members of the society. Actually, when you do the maths, if Kenya has 52 million Kenyans, it means that NGEC, National Gender and Equality Commission, is in charge of over 40 million Kenyans. Yani we have so much to do and so many people to represent, and actually looking at matters of discrimination, issues of equality, and thinking through how can we make Kenya a better place so that everybody, young, old, youth, women and men, so that they get to the decision-making table. And no one should be discriminated. Issues of gender-based violence. Like today is a very historical day because we have had 2 very key judgments. There was that girl who was killed last year in Nyeri, defiled and killed, and the judgment is out today. There was also that gentleman from the T-zone. Again, the judgment is out today. And we are very, we are looking back and saying we have come from far as a country, but there are many issues, there are many achievements that we can look and actually appreciate. I'm told that there was a time women never used to earn house allowance because of, they were looked down. They didn't belong. You're told you can't earn house allowance because your husband is earning. There's a time women were not even able to vote. There was a time that women were not even holding very senior positions. But I think now we have seen progress. Of course, there are many things we need to do, especially
even there was a time they were not in cabinet. The first one was Niva Mwendo.
Yes, and that was because of the Beijing issue, isn't it? She needed to be there so that she can be sent for the 1995
So, Dr. I think it was great because when we were doing the constitution, it's good I say that because I was in the reference group. I want to mention the following who we worked with together. Priscilla Nyokabi, Njoki Ndongo, Regina Mwatha, Kibaya Leibuta. We are the ones who conceptualized having an independent commission for gender, disability and minorities. And you know, if we had we not done that, we would not have had our own commission. That's why we actually split the Kenya National Human Rights and Equality Commission, Article 59 of the Constitution, into 3. And now you can see it has given visibility to women, and we'll get to know what you've done for minorities and people with disabilities. And so with that, we are going to take a break. Now his show is Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Keep it right here. The best show east of what? East of the world. Thank you very much.
Hizi ni taarifa za wiki hii kutoka ofisi ya msemaji wa serikali, kituo chako cha kuaminika kwa taarifa rasmi za serikali. Kenya imeongeza juhudi za kupunguza vifo vya kina mama wakati wa kujifungua katika mkutano wa AU. Rais William Ruto amehitimisha ugawaji wa shilingi milioni 63 za mpango wa Nyota kwa wananchi wa Wajir. Rais Ruto amekagua barabara ya Isiolo-Mandera na kusisitiza kuwa kaskazini mwa Kenya ni ngome mpya ya uzalishaji wa chakula. Rais Ruto ameongeza uwekezaji katika elimu ya juu na miradi ya nyumba Garissa. Rais amesifu kazi ya ukarabati wa kiwanja cha ndege cha Garissa akisema kuwa uko mbele ya ratiba. Baraza la mawaziri limeidhinisha bajeti, mpango wa kukabiliana na ukame pamoja na mageuzi ya elimu na utumishi wa umma. Rais Ruto amezindua Zidi Trader ya Safaricom katika soko la hisa la Nairobi kuruhusu Wakenya kufanya biashara ya hisa kupitia M-Pesa. Serikali imeharakisha kufufua miundombinu na kuunda ajira kwa vijana Murang'a. Serikali imeimarisha mkakati ya kukabiliana na ukame kulinda maisha na riziki. Kenya imezindua rasmi azma ya kuwania kiti cha mahakama ya kimataifa ya haki ICJ ili kuimarisha sauti ya Afrika. Msemaji wa serikali Daktari Isaac Mwaura alikutana na Daktari Jane Kere kujadili mageuzi ya utumishi wa umma. Hazina ya Taifa imeanza hatua za kuimarisha usimamizi wa mali zisizodaiwa. Waziri Davis Chirchir amekagua barabara ya Ses Rekeke Ziwa Jipe Taita Taveta. Soko la kisasa la Diani liko tayari kukabidhiwa kwa wafanyabiashara. Waziri Duale amefungua kongamano la KEMRI akisisitiza uzalishaji wa chanjo chini ya huduma ya afya kwa wote. Usajili wa mtihani wa taifa wa mwaka 2026 kwa wanafunzi umefunguliwa. Kenya na Ufaransa wameingia ushirikiano wa kidijitali kwa sekta ya TVET. Serikali limechukua hatua kuimarisha usalama wa chakula wakati wa ukame. Ujenzi wa uwanja wa viti 10,000 wa JIA umezinduliwa. Katibu Ng'eno amezindua mkakati wa World Vision mwaka 2026-2030 kwa ustawi wa watoto. Safari Rally Kenya mwaka 2026 imeanza ikiimarisha utalii na ajira. Mradi wa umwagiliaji wa Bura unaendelezwa kupitia ubia wa sekta ya umma na binafsi. Ni mwisho wa taarifa zetu za wiki hii. Tukutane tena wiki ijayo. Jina langu ni Rahab Adhiambo.
GEC, National Gender and Equality Commission. Now, tell us, how are you structured? Commissioners, programs, so that we get to know how you go about it.
Thank you. So the National Gender and Equality Commission, as I mentioned, our mandate is to promote gender equality and freedom. And in our act, we have many functions. But the main thing is actually to promote the principles of equality and non-discrimination. And we receive complaints. So you can come to the commission if you have been discriminated, report, and we are going to support you. You know, if there is a case that we can't handle, we have referral mechanism. Let me focus on the things that we have achieved just in 2025. You know, just looking at 1 year and actually.
But before you come to that, so you've talked about gender. What are you doing on equality, minorities, people with disabilities, before you come to achievements, like generally?
Yeah, so first is, as I mentioned, that people report, you know, to us. We do investigations. We also check compliance. You know, we audit government and non-government institutions to check whether you are complying with the principles of equality and non-discrimination. Here you check 2/3, AGPO 5%, you know, persons with disability, that they are getting opportunities. So the government, actually institutions, MDAs, report to us on how they are promoting or mainstreaming matters of equality and matters of inclusion. The other thing that we do is research, because we believe as a commission, you cannot make decisions or offer advisory as required by law without actually having evidence. So we have a full department that focuses on matters of research. So here you're researching on issues that pertains to these 6 special interest group. We also support institutions, you know, where we talk about institutional capacity strengthening. So if, for example, your institution has no clear frameworks and policies on matters of gender, either gender-based violence, issues of diversities in the institution, our officers support government and non-government institutions to develop those policies. We have supported many counties, many MDAs. We have even supported other organizations outside Kenya and even other countries to mainstream matters of equality and inclusion. So for us, when you look
what
at
about
it,
the ethnic minorities?
so when you look at it, really is, so you focus on this. We have divided ourselves into themes, thematic areas.
Okay, how many are
but
these?
we have 5.
Uh-huh.
But how you look at them,
Kindly, if you don't mind, tell us the 5.
you have institutional capacity strengthening.
Yeah, that's for the general, yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is a theme, is a thematic area.
Yeah.
But that's not how we structure the institution. The institution has divisions that are structured within the SIG. So I have a youth and children division that deals with matters of youth, matters of children. You have elderly and disability division that deals with matters of older members of the society above 60 years, but also it is looking at matters of disability. Actually, that is one of the division last year that really supported to make sure that we now have the Disability Act of 2025.
Very well, very
we
well.
have the minority.
And even they, in 2017, they played a very key role in ensuring those nominated members are not removed from the list sometimes back, yeah?
Yes, and even ensuring that if you are nominated, in the counties, you are you're a full member. You have a voting right. So we have women and gender division that is looking at matters of women and matters of gender. When we say gender, Spox, it is not woman. Gender is both. So sometimes when you have that, people will always ask, and where are the men? But men are represented. So for ethnic minorities and marginalized, I have a whole division that deals with matters of MM.
Thank you very much.
And last year, just to mention, we supported the national policy on ethnic minority, indigenous, and marginalized communities.
Makofi hapo kabisa. The
which
one that
was
was launched by
launched
the president in
on
December.
18th of December.
Yeah.
And we had done we had done a research in 19 counties to establish the status of girls' education in that region.
Okay.
In Aso region, which of course when you analyze those, that is where we also have ethnic minorities and marginalized communities. Actually, what was even for us very instrumental is when the president made pronouncement when he was launching that policies. He said he's going to have bursaries and infrastructure fund, which aligned to the evidence that we had, the evidence that we had collected from the ASA communities.
So now let's move now to because I was privileged to attend also the one you launched, the report that you launched for girls. Huh? But before we come to that, the 5 themes people would want to understand, because now we told us that the various divisions, people now know they can come to approach you on various issues, including older persons. Huh? And then you are also participating in the older persons bill, the one that is being processed.
Yes, older persons bill, there's a widow bill that we are working on.
Yeah.
We were in the technical working group on gender-based violence, including femicide.
Very good.
Which the president actually received the report, and we are hoping the cabinet can process it.
Makofi kabisa hapo, ni very, very good. So let's come to your 5 themes, if you can mention them in a nutshell.
So we have the institutional capacity strengthening, which I've mentioned that your institution can come, if it is another government from another country, they visit the commission to understand how do you even come up with a constitutional commission. We have many institutions.
So they come to benchmark with you?
They come to benchmark. We help them to understand.
So you are actually a best practice?
Yeah. We actually best practice in Africa. We have supported 17 countries.
Makofi hapo. That's amazing. The next thing?
We have matters of compliance. I mentioned that, where you come report, we are checking. Like now we check many things. Are you compliant with the law in terms of the articles of the constitution? Whether it's true that I mentioned AGPO, which 5% need to go to youth, persons with disability, and people from minority marginalized community. We have a...
Wait a bit, before you come to that, so is it gender role or gender principle?
Principle.
Thank you. At least you're honest on that one. Article 81 of the Constitution. Go on.
Yeah, so how many have I mentioned?
I think, is it 2?
No, we have mentioned investigation.
And then compliance.
Then compliance.
And capacity.
Research.
Yes.
Have I mentioned research?
No, you can explain.
Research and knowledge management. So this is our research, you know, that is where the report you came to launch on 10th is anchored.
Okay, so tell me, Dr. Purity, knowledge management. Talk about it. And vis-a-vis local knowledge management in a patriarchal society, in a society that sometimes doesn't value those with disabilities and ethnic minorities, in a highly ethnic society where we vote on tribal, you know, and that determines whether you get sometimes opportunities.
Actually, when you look at statistics and our studies, actually Kenyans have no bias on electing women. For example, let me just use women for example. If we have analyzed the people who are on the ballot in 2022 and who are elected, the percentage is the same. Only that you have a small number of women who put themselves out there. And so it comes back to political parties to ensure that we have more women. So people in that who need to be elected, because then we will elect people. We'll elect them. We have no biases. And that is statistically showing that if the number of women that were on the ballot, that percentage is equivalent to the percentage of the women that were elected. I know from research, I don't know whether it makes sense. Does it?
It does, it does.
It does, yeah? So what we then need is more women to be actually on the ballot, so then Kenyans can choose from a bigger population.
Somebody would say that you focus more on women to the neglect of other groups.
No, not really, actually.
Yeah.
And
as you answer that, where is the equality bill? At some point it used to be very, we never hear of it. It was a humongous bill. We don't know where it went, and it's over 10, 15 years now.
Let me first go to your first question. And there's a lot of perception out there that the commission focus more on women. And if you look at the statistics, Spox, I mean, if you're looking at representation, whether it is in positions, elected, nominated and all that, you realize that women have been left behind. We are now at 22%.
Generally, yeah?
Generally. If you look at indicators of SDG 5, we are talking about FGM, which is at 15%. You're talking about children who are becoming pregnant before the age of 18, which is around 15%. You're looking at women who actually have no economic power. So it makes us then, because of the statistics, to focus more on bringing them to the table, right? So that they can compete with their male counterpart. And one of the things I must say, empowering a woman does not mean disempowering a man. And I think people confuse that. You'll hear people saying, hey, we have over-empowered the girl child. We have brought the girl somewhere.
Actually,
they can compete.
They can compete. But let me ask you, because I'm the patron of Buruburu girls. I go there and the girls really are very powerful. The other day we had Kahuya girls. I went there to preach. I preach actually. 195 of them got born again. But the truth of the matter, even when the kids come, now you see the girl is more empowered. Boys are a little bit, maybe in the older, but the younger generation, the conversation is that maybe the girl child is over-empowered to the detriment of the boy child.
But I think is our understanding of what it means to be over-empowered. Because if you look at government right now, for example, the government is investing in education.
Yeah.
So there is no teacher who goes to class and say, Purity, I'm empowering you with this knowledge. And Mwangi, please don't listen. The teacher will give them knowledge actually in the same way. When
are you trying to say boys are not understanding?
No, I'm just saying that we are giving them the same thing. And the only thing maybe that is being overemphasized is reminding them that, hey, you girl, you boy, you can become whatever you want. If you look at the Nyota program, it was 50-50. It was 50 girls, 50 boys.
And also for people with disabilities from 1829, but also up to 35 because of that historical injustice. So
I think, but when you think, there's always a lot of intersectionality. Because if you think of a girl, let's focus maybe on gender-based violence. A girl who has disability is more vulnerable than a girl without disability, isn't it? A girl who comes from minority and marginalized community is more vulnerable than maybe a girl who comes from a community that is well endowed, that has parents going to school and all that. So there is so much intersectionality between all these issues that we deal with of SIGs.
Okay.
And we continue to represent maybe when we speak about persons with disability, we have done a lot to ensure that now we have an act, we have
a policy.
A policy.
Yeah.
There's even, I saw a circular from the head of public service that he released last year in July, reminding MDAs to ensure they comply.
Yeah.
And actually telling them to report. First to report to him, but also to report to the council.
So
oversight body.
I know your work is oversight. So how are you oversighting the Russian man before you go to the questions? This whole issue has been there. There's also some colorism ratio issue. Are our women vulnerable to foreigners because they have a white skin?
No,
and I'm asking you that as a Modongo Waruiro.
I think the matters of gender-based violence, we should not take them lightly, because women and men have been suffering. That is actually the reason why the president actually formed the technical working group. And let me tell you, it is the first in Africa. He's the first president to actually say, there's a problem, and I'm going to deal with it head on. That issue of the Russian, of course, I've seen you made a statement. The cabinet secretary in charge of gender, affirmative action and children affairs, she also made a statement. But we need to look at technologically facilitated gender-based violence, because what happened is that this person recorded and did not sought consent from this lady, even when they were above 18 years. So you can imagine when someone is above 18 years, then the law says that they can make decisions on their own. However, they had not consented for the action of someone recording them and releasing it. So that is where we need to check the law and how it is going to protect women and men, especially on these issues that come from online bullying and harassment.
I think that's an ongoing conversation. Purity, people may not agree on the whole issue. There are also issues of race. There are also issues of empowerment. The issue of decolonization of the mind. But we can debate that. Of course, there's a gender issue. There's also the question of morality. We agree with you the question of digitization of that. But also, is it right? But the jury is still at large. But of course, there should not be anyone who looks down on Africans. Makofi kabisa hapo. Sasa naangalia upande huu, naona mnangalangala kama vile Mulu Mutesi alisema, mnangalangala kama manana ya itiko. Sijui kama mnajua hiyo. Nyinyi majenzia mjui hiyo ni ya kitambo. Now let's come to questions. Who goes first? Please quickly say your name and you know which county you come from, and question to Simama tafadhali. Simama haraka haraka. You have to stand up. Yes. Over to you.
Jerry Kafungo from Nyeri County, and my question is, how does the National Gender and Equality Commission help the voiceless communities obtain their rights?
Thank you. Next question. Number 2, quickly, haraka haraka. Vijana, fanya haraka haraka. Hii ni show yenu.
I'm Charles, and
you are Charles who?
Charles Ndongo from Nyandarua. And my question is, how does National Gender and Equality Commission protect the rights of women, youth, persons with disabilities, and other marginalized groups?
Thank you. Number 3, quickly, haraka haraka.
Hello, my name is Salome. I'm from Kiambu County. My question to Dr. Purity is, how can citizens report cases of inequality and discrimination to the Commission? Thank you.
Okay, finally.
My name is Anne Kamau from Trans Nzoia County. My question is, what programs and initiatives does NGC run to promote gender equality in Kenya?
Thank you. Let's go to the online section. We hear from the online viewers. Quickly pass on the mic. Haraka haraka, we have no time. 3 questions only.
Good evening, Daktari. There are some 3 questions from our social media platforms, but in Kiswahili. The first question, tume ya ANGEC inasaidiaje jamii zisizo na sauti kupata haki zao? Alfred Momanyi kutoka kaunti ya Isiolo, Twitter. Swali ya pili, ni nani wanaoweza kuwasilisha malalamiko yao kwa tume ya ANGEC? Okweri Daniel kutoka kaunti ya Kakamega, Facebook. Na swali la mwisho, tume yako ina mipango gani ya kuhakikisha kuwa usawa wa kijinsia na haki za binadamu unatekelezwa nchini Kenya? Asante.
So, Daktari, uko na 2.5 minutes to answer all those questions.
I will start with how one can report, because you can call us. We have a toll-free number. And I hope someone can pass it so that
maybe you can mention it. You can, if you have, you know it. Anyway, it's okay. We can have it.
The other one is that someone has asked, what programs do we do? we have a theme on public education. Most of us and most Kenyans don't know the law and to interpret it, because we are not all of us advocates. So we conduct public awareness, public education programs. We have gone to, last year we went to over 10 counties, you know, telling people about why it is important for them to promote equality, how they can report, how they can support the government, how we need to kill any kangaroo courts in the villages, you know, just creating awareness and educating the public. And actually one of the things that we're doing very much is male engagement and involvement, because as you said, men somehow are feeling like they have been left behind. So that is one thing. NGC continues to, you know, to take its mandate very seriously. Our oversight mandate to ensure that the government, executive, legislature, judiciary are actually promoting equality and freedom from all forms of discrimination. If anybody reports to us, or even ourselves, we investigate and find that there are elements of discrimination, elements where we come in, we are able to summon, we are given powers. We have quasi-judicial powers, and we have our regulations that we follow. We have summoned many people, we have made many people apologize after making very nasty statements that are discriminatory in nature. We also write advisories. So we offer advisories to ministries, to presidency. We have written advisories related to matters of, you know, persons with disability. When children were burnt in Russia, we were able to write an advisory to the Ministry of Education, to TSC. You have seen when there was a case of Lenana, we have been able to investigate, you know, this issue of persons with disability where the school had more kids. We were able to go investigate, and we have issued an advisory to Ministry of Education. So we are really taking our mandate seriously, but I invite the public to report to us in case there are any issues. We also have, as a government, a number that people can call. I think is 1149, and you can report matters of gender-based violence. But people to also understand that if your child is defiled, please know that that is a criminal case. Don't solve it at home. Ensure that we follow the right processes when it comes to reporting.
Very well. Maybe the more question about opportunities for youth in your commission?
We host young people, I think every 2 months, where they come and discuss issues, you know, just giving them an opportunity to come to the commission and discuss. And also we get facilitators for them who talk, who train them on matters of leadership, especially now we are speaking very much on transformative leader. Who is a transformative leader? Because the youth are actually the people who are going to lead this country. So we are really nurturing them and mentoring them as a commission. We also host, you know, equality and inclusion, a technical working group.
Tell us about that in a nutshell as you give your closing remarks.
In all counties, there's we have equality and inclusion technical working group. This one brings together the national government through the county commissioner. We have the Ministry of Gender, you know, who have the directors in the counties, and we have NGC that coordinate, because our role really is to convene and facilitate conversations to happen. We have non-state actors. So we come there and people really discuss matters of equality and inclusion in the counties. I spoke, wewe unapeleka mtu mbio mbio.
Hivyo kwa sababu ya time. Closing remarks in less than 10 seconds.
My closing remarks is people to come to the National Gender and Equality Commission. We are there. We promote equality and freedom from all forms of discrimination, but also to the young people, tujitume, form ni kujituma.
Haya, sawa. Haya, nipatie mkono. Asante sana. Hii show inaitwa Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. Until next time, keep it here ili tuseme na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Makofi kabisa hapo.